The badge of justice. The morning sun cast long shadows across Terminal B as Maya Johnson approached the boarding gate. Her crisp navy suit and confident stride spoke of authority, but the pilot standing at the gate counter saw only her skin color. Captain Blake, a weathered man in his 50s, looked up from his clipboard with narrowed eyes. "Excuse me, ma'am. I need to see your identification again," he said, his voice dripping with suspicion. Maya had already shown her ID twice to the gate agent, but she reached into her briefcase calmly. "Of course, Captain." She handed him her civilian driver's license. Blake examined it under the harsh fluorescent lights, turning it over repeatedly. His frown deepened with each passing second. "This doesn't look right to me," he announced loudly, causing nearby passengers to turn and stare. "The photo seems altered." Maya's jaw tightened, but her voice remained steady. "I assure you, Captain Blake, that identification is completely legitimate." "I don't think so." Blake's voice rose, attracting more attention. "We can't have people boarding flights with fake documents. Not on my watch." The gate area fell silent. Phones emerged from pockets as passengers began recording. Maya felt the familiar weight of centuries of prejudice bearing down on her shoulders, but she stood straighter. "Sir, I need to board this flight. I have urgent business in Washington." Blake sneered. "What kind of business could someone like you possibly have in the capital?" The words hung in the air like poison. Maya's hands remained steady, but fire blazed in her eyes. She had faced this discrimination countless times before, but never so publicly, never so brazenly. Without warning, Blake produced a lighter. "Fake IDs need to be destroyed," he declared, igniting the corner of Maya's license. Gasps echoed through the terminal as the plastic melted. Maya watched her identification burn, but her expression never wavered. She had been prepared for this moment her entire career. "Captain Blake," she said, her voice cutting through the shocked murmurs. "You have just made a very serious mistake." Blake laughed harshly. "The only mistake would be letting you on this plane with fraudulent papers." Maya reached into her jacket pocket with deliberate precision. The crowd held its breath. Security guards began moving closer, unsure whether to intervene. "Since you destroyed my civilian identification," Maya said, her voice now carrying unmistakable authority, "I suppose I'll have to use my federal credentials." She withdrew a leather wallet and flipped it open. The gold FBI director badge gleamed under the terminal lights. Her federal identification card bore the same photo Blake had just incinerated, but now it carried the weight of the nation's highest law enforcement office. The color drained from Blake's face faster than water through sand. His confident smirk crumbled into an expression of pure terror. The lighter slipped from his trembling fingers, clattering to the floor. "Director Maya Johnson, Federal Bureau of Investigation," she announced clearly, ensuring everyone could hear. "And Captain Blake, you are in serious trouble." Blake's mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. Sweat beaded on his forehead despite the air conditioning. I didn't know." "I mean, you didn't know because you chose not to look beyond my skin color," Maya replied sharply. "You saw a black woman and immediately assumed criminality." Airport security rushed forward, but Maya raised her hand. Federal agents, who had been monitoring the situation from a distance, stepped out of the crowd. They had been her protection detail all along. "Agent Carter," Maya addressed a tall woman approaching them. "Please document this incident for our discrimination task force." Blake stammered apologies, but Maya wasn't finished. "Captain, your actions today represent exactly why we need stronger oversight in transportation. You profiled me, destroyed my property, and violated federal anti-discrimination laws." The crowd watched in stunned silence as Blake was escorted away by airport security. His pilot's license would be suspended pending investigation. The airline's CEO would personally apologize within hours. Maya turned to address the gathered passengers. Let this be a reminder that justice doesn't wear a uniform you can recognize from across a room. It comes in all colors, all genders, all backgrounds. She boarded her flight to thunderous applause, carrying with her the renewed determination to fight systemic racism wherever it lurked. The burned ID had been replaced by something far more powerful, visible proof that perseverance and excellence could triumph over prejudice. As the plane lifted off, Maya smiled. Today's victory was small, but each battle won brought America closer to the justice it promised all its citizens.